When it comes to entertainment, the golden age of television not only closed the gap between TV and cinema, but it also upped the ante in terms of budget and action sequences. So today we're going to take a look at the best ever fight sequences in TV shows that made our jaws drop. So grab the popcorn because the next 15 minutes is going to be bloody and wild. We start off the list with the market fight from The Witcher. To kickstart the list, we have the male version of Daenerys Targaryen, Geralt of Rivia.
Fuck.
Nah, we're just kidding, aren't we? He's neither mad nor he wants you to bend your knees. But one thing he's good with is swords. The show doesn't waste much time to establish how cool Geralt is. Played by our Superman Henry Cavill himself, Geralt is a character worthy of memorable moments. The scene we're talking about here takes place in the very first episode. In the market of Blaviken, Geralt is looking to sell a freshly killed Kikimora, but the townsfolk aren't too chill about it. Armed with crossbows and swords, a group of men attacks Geralt. What ensues is 1.5 minutes of pure bloody rampage. The men do learn their lessons, but aren't alive to tell the tale anymore. Serves you right for messing with The Witcher. Hannibal vs. Jack comes in next. We decided to go with our favourite cannibal here because this is one fight scene that everyone saw coming. No, literally, they did. Season 2 of Hannibal opens with a fight scene between Hannibal Lecter and FBI honcho Jack Crawford, and the rest of the season's all about how things reached that heated confrontation. Now, you'd think that it's a given that Hannibal would win since he's the literal protagonist of the show, but it's not that easy when you're pitted against Morpheus. Hannibal's no match for Jack's physicality, but he has one thing by his side, his kitchen. Hannibal in his natural habitat versus the brute force of a guy with years of training. From knives to refrigerator doors, everything is used in this fight. Just when Jack's about to get the better of his opponent, Hannibal plays his smartest move yet. He plays dead, and when the time's right, knifes Jack's neck with a lethal blow.
Killer.
At number 7, we have The Stadium Fight in 24. A show that has only 24 hours to spare doesn't like to beat around the bush. Jack Bauer's a man on a mission, and he sure likes to go with some style. Sherry's doing a damn fine job at persuading Kingsley to give up Data, but Kingsley soon calls her bluff. Sherry's out of her wits and she's moments away from her death. Bauer comes out all guns blazing and vaporizes Kingsley's men, but one of the guys attacks him and an injured Bauer embroils in a hand-to-hand fight. Ultimately, Bauer manages to land a lethal punch and knocks the other guy dead. 24 is full of amazing fights, but this one really was ruthless. Next up is the Punisher prison scene from Daredevil. Marvel films are greatly entertaining, there's no doubt about that, but they do miss out on that raw violence. But when it comes to Marvel TV shows, we have a whole different story. Daredevil started it all, so there's no way we're missing that. This scene we're talking about here comes in Season 2, Episode 9, and it doesn't feature the Daredevil at all. Instead, we get to see a brawny John Barenthal playing Frank Castle, aka the Punisher. Frank's up against an army of inmates in his cell, and a fight ensues. The Punisher brutally punishes anyone and everyone that gets in his way. The last guy's bloody face leaves the skull logo on Castle's shirt, and I'm not gonna lie, we kind of freaked out with all amazingness at that moment. The hotel fight scene from The Preacher comes in next. Okay, enough with fights among mortals for a second. Now it's time for a fight between angels. Preacher as a show is a godsend. Pun totally intended there, right? In the episode titled Sundowner, we see two angels, DeBlanc and Fiore, explain to Jesse the thing inside him is the Genesis, an unholy abomination that was created when an angel and a demon had sex. The steams are let loose when a seraphim from heaven rains hell on them. Seraphim wants to take the angels back to heaven and a kick-ass fight starts. It turns out angels don't actually die, so when their mortal bodies are killed, they just reappear within a second.
He died? What the hell?
So as they fight and kill each other, bodies pile in the hotel room. Camera work from a hole in the wall works like magic. There's blood everywhere, bodies piling up, and angels appearing out of nowhere. It's weird, it's quirky, and it's cool as heaven?
Do you know what this reminds me of?
Shut up, Cassidy.
And number 4 is the final battle from Into the Badlands. From preaching some cool action all the way to a martial arts show now. Into the Badlands is a great show, but it's the one show where fights aren't secondary to plot and characters. Choosing the best one from a show that set a new benchmark for martial arts fights is actually really hard. So we decided to go with the culmination, the fight that had it all, the finale. The final battle was an all-out war divided into 3 parts. Widow, Gaius and Tilda team up against MK Moon on his way to kill Cressida, and finally Sunny, Badgie and the Black Lotus up against the Pilgrim's Dark Ones. Everyone gets a chance to shine through in this fast-paced, sleek scene. Extremely tense and well-designed, the final battle of Into the Badlands was a 10-minute orgasm for martial arts fans all over the world.
Goodbye, brother.
Taking our number 3 spot is none other than the Nola vs Burton fight scene in and around the Rolls Royce from Banshee. It's season 3, episode 3, and Nola's a woman out for revenge. She's crossed by Burton, and the fight sequence that follows is downright brutal and structured to perfection. Nola and Burton are 2 of the most skilled fighters, and a duel between the 2 will only end with one's death. But just like most great fight scenes, you don't know who's winning and whom to support. Nola gets the better of Burton for most of the time, but Burton manages to land the final blow and rips her windpipe away. No, we are not kidding. The fight's extremely fast-paced, and the camera work inside the car is just ridiculous. This is a 4-minute fighting masterclass. The most ambitious shows stop at some point, and Banshee starts from there on. In the runner-up spot, we have the Massacre at Hardhome from Game of Thrones. This is the biggest in this list, quite literally. After all these years, Game of Thrones really doesn't need any introduction, does it? A global sensation with all of its sound and fury only to end with a whimper. But if we set aside the painfully bad final season, Game of Thrones by its own merit is a force to be reckoned with. The scene that we're talking about is the one that sent chills down our spines. Jon and Tormund arrive at Hardhome to persuade the wildlings when they're ambushed by the army of undead White Walkers. The army of snow zombies are like a brutal killing machine that climbed and ran through any and everything that they came across and ravaged the town to the ground. Jon's up against the White Walker, and a mere sight of one is enough to scare the shit out of you. Jon runs, falls, and stumbles his way through the fight, but just before the White Walker manages to kill him, Jon rams his sword through him. Battle of the Bastards may be peak Game of Thrones, but Hardhome is where it all started. Now, let's get down to the best fight in TV history. Matt Murdock taking down a group of child traffickers single-handedly in a hallway. Somewhat influenced by Old Boy's hallway scene, Daredevil zooms through all the men, hitting and punching their guts out. He's tired and injured, and the fight's ugly and bloody. The confined space meant that he had a small space to work with, but plenty of space to improvise. The color grading is top-notch, and so is the BGM. As we've known so far, long shots really go well with amazing fight sequences, and this one is no slouch either. I'm not gonna lie, our devil from Hell's Kitchen got some mad skills. considering the high standards set by recent shows, choosing the best fights wasn't that easy. Now, the fights we've included here aren't only great spectacles on their own, but are also pivotal to the plot of those shows. In a way, nothing was the same after these scenes appeared, and neither was TV. Comment down your favourite fight scenes among these and let us know the ones that you think that we missed out on. Recommend your favourite TV show fights and we might make a volume 2 of this video. We make awesome content like this every week, so you know the drill. Mark the like button blue, make it go viral, and subscribe to our channel, TV Regent. See ya!